Hello. I wanted to hop on here and talk about something that has been on my mind. So I just finished a call in my collective, and holy cow, I want to discuss something because the mental load issue that we as moms carry, like, it's a problem. It is a problem. And so I want you to really think about this. Like, looking back on it now, to me, I'm like, this is ridiculous because we as moms, as women, we are taught by society, by religion, by the way that we were raised, by whatever it is growing up, that like moms are supposed to do it all themselves. We're supposed to carry it all on our shoulders. The husband goes out and makes some money, and we are the ones who take care of everything else. And I just want you to know, we have to call BS on this. We have to call BS on this way of living, because the load that we as moms carry in the home is so much more than our husbands and partners would ever carry, even if they had a demanding job. And you jumped into this marriage together, and so it is a partnership. It is not, I make the money, you do everything else. It is, no, we are raising our kids together. And so I want you to think about this mental load thing in the sense of like, when we're controlling everything in the house, right? Like, we as moms, we've got the kids' to-do lists, we've got our to-do lists, we've got everything else that needs to be done, right? Laundry, bills paid, lawns mowed, like house cleaned, dinner cooked, lunch cooked, whatever it looks like for you. And then if your kids have chores and you're trying to track all of your kids' chores, you've got to really look at, how much are you putting on this plate of yours? How much are you putting on your plate? How much are you carrying on your own? And I think that's something that we are never taught to do toward the beginning of our marriage, before we get married, is, what values do you have in the house? What values do you carry? And so I just want to leave you with like a little example here, from my coaching call today. One of the moms in there, she was like, okay, I'm having a lot of energy leaks. I'm not getting some of these things done. Now, when I say energy leak, I mean something that you have been meaning to do, but you haven't been doing it. So it's sitting on the back of your mind, like this mental to-do list, right? You're leaking energy, stressing about it. Like, just do it. Just do it, right? Like Nike, just do it. But we were talking about, she's like, and I just think I have too much on my plate. And I'm like, okay, well, tell me about this. Like, tell me about, your household chores, like your kids' tasks, whatever. Like, how do you run your house? And she was kind of explaining it. And she said a comment. Now, for those of you, I have a boundaries challenge. Like, I have a little boundaries guide for moms. It's a free template. You can grab it on Canva. I'll drop it in the show link. But I want you to really think about, um, everybody's list. You have a list. Your kids have a list. Your husband's got things he does, right? But you're tracking it all. So she was like, I haven't printed off the chart yet for my kids. And I was like, okay, here's the thing. A chore chart, a task chart, whatever you want to call it for your kids. Like, I don't love the word chore, but that's just like what's most widely understood. When you have this chore chart that you are not printing, where is it? Where is that information being stored? It is being stored in your mind. You're holding on to that in your brain so that you can walk around and remind your kids of all the things they need to do all morning, right? And I am not judging, because I have been here. I've absolutely been here, and it freaking sucks until you find a better way, right? So for me, this boundaries guide I've created, you can drop boundaries below if you want that copy of that. I'm doing this live and I'm recording a podcast, but drop boundaries below. I will send you the link. It is a free Canva template that you can go in and customize to yourself, because you don't need to carry your kids' chore list in your own mind. You don't need to remind them, right? We want, as moms, to start to teach our kids how to be internally motivated. And so for my kids, they get like 45 minutes of switch time a day. And that's for all of them. So the switch can be turned on for 45 minutes a day. That's it. We don't turn it on very often because it's getting warm and they like to play outside. But My two youngest love to know that that's an option, even if they don't use it. They haven't asked for several days, but my two older girls hate losing their phones. So if their chores do not get done on time, and there is a time limit, nighttime chores have to be done by 8:30 because me and my husband don't want to have tucked the two younger ones in bed and we go crawl in bed and have to listen to our girls do chores at 10 p.m., right? So there's a time limit on ours. And if they don't get their chores done on time, they lose their cell phones for 24 hours and they hate that. And now their cell phones shut down at like 6:30 for my younger one, and then 9:30 because my other one works till 9 usually and is home about 9:30. Her phone just shuts off and she's blocked from using it all night until about 7 the next morning. But they do not like to lose that because that's how they Marco Polo cousins and text their friends and whatever. And so that internally motivates them to get that stuff done. And so then I just have a list. It's a little chart on the fridge. They know what needs to be done. They know what is theirs. I don't have to remember it. I just expect that it gets done. And if it doesn't get done, sorry, like that's on you. It's not on me. And it's the same with my youngest. I have a little piece in that chart that also has squares. And so I print it out, I laminate it, and then they have little square magnets. So my two youngest have magnets that they put on their chores every morning. Chloe's are pink and purple. Jack's are like blue and orange, I think, or something, a teal, like a turquoisey. Anyways, and they put them on as they get their chores done. If their chores aren't done by 8:15 in the morning, they lose switch time. The TV does not go on at all that day, and they hate losing that. And so we got to start to teach our kids to internally motivate themselves. And you, as a mom, need to get some stuff off your plate. You are not meant to do this alone. And you do not need to carry everybody else's mental load as well. You get to focus on the things that you do for the day. It's the same with me and my husband. We have now divided out household chores. He has 2 days that he does laundry. I have 2 days that I do laundry. And then my two older girls have to help with laundry. He has 2 days to vacuum. I have 2 days to vacuum. And I don't have to stress about it. I'm like, oh, Wednesday and Thursday, not my day. He'll get it done. And so how can you start to make your life feel lighter? How can you call BS on the fact that you were meant to do it all on your own? I think there's this preconceived notion that like, oh, if the man makes the money, we do everything else, and we have to stop that. Like that has to stop. It is not true. And I think that a lot of times we get really afraid of asking for help because for me, it was a belief that my husband thought I was supposed to do it all too. And so it took me a really long time, a lot of years, yes, to get up the courage to ask. And he was like, I had no idea you were struggling with so much of this. And so I really feel like if you have a supportive husband who cares about you and is a part of the family and also a part of creating your family, it's not your job to take care of everything while he goes and makes the money. It's just not. And so you get to decide to shift that. And this is where I'm doing a whole challenge starting Monday, the Shift Your Vibe Challenge, where we are going to shift like one area of your life that you want to shift. And maybe this is a space that you want to shift. I'm shifting into like being able to spend money on myself just because it's something I desire, not because it's just something that I need. That's really easy for me. If I need it, absolutely, I'll buy it. But if it's something that I have wanted for a long time, I really struggle to buy it for myself. That's the vibe I'm shifting. So maybe the vibe that you want to shift is out of the thought that you are supposed to stay on top of it all. You are supposed to do it all by yourself because you are not meant to do this all alone. So if you do not make it to the live challenge, you can snag the replay by joining my membership. It's $29 a month. But if you do join us live, it is happening April 15th through the 17th. I'm going live at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time each of those days. We're going to work through this. We are going to shift a vibe into a new vibe that we want to hold. And we are going deep. We're going to release some shit. We're doing breath work. We're doing all of it. And so come and join us. Let's shift the vibe into something that we want to shift into and let go of the stuff that's no longer serving us because you were never meant to do this life alone. And I will talk to you next time.